Well, my dear friends, today's gospel, the Easter gospel, the Lord is risen, the resurrection, is from Luke chapter 24, verses 1 to 12. At daybreak on the first day of the week, the women who had come from Galilee with Jesus took the spices they had prepared and went to the tomb. They found a stone rolled away from the tomb, but when they entered, they did not find the body of the Lord Jesus. While they were puzzling over this, behold, two men in dazzling garments appeared to them. They were terrified and bowed their faces to the ground. They said to them, "Why do you seek the living among the dead? He's not here, but he has been raised. Remember what he said to you while he was still in Galilee? That the Son of Man must be handed over to sinners and be crucified, and rise on the third day." And they remembered his words. Then they returned from the tomb and announced all these things to the 11 and to all the others. The women were Mary Magdalene, Joanna, and Mary the mother of James. The others who accompanied them also told this to the apostles. But their story seemed like nonsense, and they did not believe them. But Peter got up and ran to the tomb, bent down, and saw the burial clothes alone. Then he went home amazed at what had happened. So it seems in this gospel, my dear friends, that the resurrection of Jesus, his rising again from the dead, is a bit of surprise to the apostles, to Mary Magdalene and all the other disciples of Jesus. They were not expecting it. You see, even Peter himself ran to the tomb, bent down, and saw the burial clothes alone. And then he went home amazed at what had happened. See, what happened? Where is the body? So even Mary Magdalene and all the others said that the story of Mary Magdalene was pure nonsense. So why did not the apostles expect the resurrection of Jesus? There must be a reason. Number one, most probably they're not too well informed about this. Jesus mentioned many times this, that one day he will be arrested, tortured, and die in the hands of his detractors. But after 3 days he would rise again from the dead. He kept on saying this quite a number of times to his apostles, to his teachings, but most probably the apostles and disciples refused to listen. You know, sometimes we refuse some truths that we don't like to accept. During the time that Jesus was teaching and healing people, doing miracles, to announce that he's going to die and rise again after 3 days is a little bit of a nonsense story. And most probably they did not believe him. Or perhaps they refused to believe. They just failed to listen. They don't want to listen to it. That's one of the reasons. Second is because most probably they don't really understand. They don't really understand. Third is because the news came from not so credible people such as Mary Magdalene, And so this is something that they never expected. But fourth, they were so overwhelmed, deeply entrenched into the tears of sorrow, into the grief of losing Jesus, that their tears covered their eyes and they failed to see. This is something that happens to a lot of people. They fail to see the light because they close their eyes and cry and cry. Their tears are covered or covering their faces, covering their eyes, that they refuse to see that there is light. But then, this story of the resurrection is a beautiful story of Christ's victory over death. But then, fortunately, Jesus slowly would reveal himself, and to his incredulous apostles, they would soon realize that Jesus is really risen from the dead. Many times in our lives, we refuse to listen to what is true, so that when it happens, we are the most incredulous of all. In faith, We may not be expecting beautiful things, but we still have to believe. Well, thank you.